right, welcome to AP Statistics. Here's our first lesson, section 1.1 of our notes. Our objective today is we want to be able to create and evaluate bar graphs and pie charts. We want to be able to calculate and display both marginal and conditional distributions from a two-way table, all right, or a chart of data. So, statistics. What is it? It's the science of data, all right? That means it's not just data. It's not the numbers. It's the science of data. So we're going to use a lot of the same terms that you use in your science course. This is how we're going to collect data. All right. We're going to organize it. We're going to summarize it. We're going to analyze it. And then we're going to draw conclusions. Okay, so with that, when you get numbers and data points, right? If I asked you all your heights, I'm going to collect it, then I'm going to organize it. Am I going to do everybody together? Am I going to do males versus females? Am I going to do seniors versus juniors? Then I'm going to summarize it. What numbers are important to pull out of that? Is it just the highest and the lowest? Is it the one that's the most common? Is it the average? Is it the median? How am I going to summarize it? And then what does that mean? Does it mean that guys are taller than girls? That girls and guys are the same height? And that girls are taller than guys? I don't know what's going on. And then that will help us draw our conclusions and make predictions, possibly. Okay. First things we need to talk about are what are the differences between individuals and variables? Okay. So a data set contains information about some group of individuals. All right. That info is organized in variables or characteristics. Okay, you're used to variables being X or Y. That is not the case here at all. Our variables are going to be the characteristics of the data we're looking for. So if we're Ford, it could be the color of the Mustangs or the horsepower of the Mustangs or the make of different cars that they sell. The individuals would be each individual Mustang. And then the variable could be the color or the horsepower or whatever else, convertible or not, or whatever you want to do. We have two types of variables. The first is a quantitative variable. Okay, a quantitative variable takes numerical values for which arithmetic operations such as averaging and adding makes sense. So you'd have height, weight, SAT score, IQ, salary, any of those would be good, all right? The other type of variable we have is categorical or qualitative, just depends on qualitative. Qualitative. I can't spell today. Oh my goodness. Qualitat. Qualitative. Okay. So qualitative variables are ones that put an individual into groups or categories. So this would be like eye color. Okay. It could be hair color, religion, race, gender. Any of those, they're categories. They're not a numerical answer that can be averaged. Now, there are actually two numbers that actually fall into categories that you all have. All right. The first number would be your zip code, because your zip code is 08088 or 08055 or 0854, 08054. You would never average together zip codes to get an average zip code. Your zip code is really your category of what town you live in, okay, or what mailing post office you live in. The other you have on your phone. It's your area code. I imagine almost all of you have 609 or 856, all right? So your area code, you'd never do 609 plus 609 plus 856 divided by 3. It's just not logical. That's actually a category that you can be placed in, so that would go there. Now, when we're talking about math, we're going to use a couple, in statistics, we're going to use a bunch of different terms differently than you have before. A distribution of a categorical variable lists the categories, and it gives the counts, which are your frequencies, or the percentages, which would then become your relative frequencies. And these are important terms to know. So your distribution is just the breakdown of your data. So the breakdown of your data is your distribution. And then with that, we have either frequencies or we have relative frequencies.